I used to feel guilty when good things happened to me. I used to feel like I had to stay humble, which I still believe, and that I should be a little apologetic, especially if good things were happening to me and not others around me. But then I realized something. No one ever feels guilty when something bad happens to them. No one ever apologizes for going through trauma or pain, and nobody expects them to. I don't feel guilty anymore. If we can endure the bad, we should also be able to freely rejoice in the good. Today is Tuesday, and I can promise you we're already going to have a really great day. But I am trying to figure out these morning rituals. Of course, skincare, but obviously that's not the first thing I do in the morning. Still trying to figure that out. Today in particular is a little strange because I'm going to a very awesome event today. I'm getting all pampered and cute because I'm stepping back into my old life a little bit. My old life from when I was an Army spouse. I met a lot of wonderful people, and my husband and I had a wonderful time during that time. And by the way, I'm thinking about wearing the Bottegas or the Christian Dior's. I'm not quite sure yet. But I have a couple of events to go to today, so I'll have a couple of different outfits. But anyway, yeah, we're stepping back into our old life. One of our really good friends is getting promoted to colonel. And it's a wonderful thing, not just because, she's achieved the rank, but because she is a woman and she also happens to be African American. And to achieve the rank of colonel for anyone is not the easiest thing to do. Not everybody does that. So I'm actually pretty excited. Today I'm going for a very soft, glam daytime look. Something that looks very pretty, that is definitely made up, but not over the top. Throughout my years, 24 to be exact, as a military spouse, I like to think I perfected the art of being classy and cute and presentable at all times. So you never forget those things. In fact, I think post-military spouse life, I think I've elevated them even more to a certain extent because I definitely make better choices of clothing for my body. And over the years, my skin has gotten better and it has made doing my makeup so much easier. And I really do kind of wish that I had this hair most of those years because it is so easy. I remember I used to always struggle with being late. But we grow up and we become mature. And I think I've done that. So anyway, I'm just going, like I said, for a very soft, glam, made-up look. Because this is a special occasion, I'm going to be wearing a cute dress. And my makeup also has to last all day. But back to trying to establish the soft girl morning routine. This has been difficult for me, you guys, because every day things are different. Back in my old life, when I had the kids and we were very regimented, they went to school at a certain time, or when I was working outside of the home and, I went to work at a certain time. It was very easy to have morning routines because you did the same thing every day except for the weekends. And now my life is just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And when you're like that, when you have that luxury, because it is a luxury, it can also be a liability to a certain extent because I could literally wake up today and decide, hey, you know what? I don't want to do anything. Or I could wake up today and decide, hey, let's get on a train and go to New York. You really don't have any structure. And it's very hard to create a routine or create habits when you really don't have structure, when your time is really your own. It's kind of ironic when you think about it. You get away from the hustle. You don't necessarily have a boss, or you do, but maybe you have more autonomy over your time. And because of that, nothing gets done. We don't want to have to do all of the things, but there are things that do absolutely need to get done. And also, having the structure is great for mental health. It's great for physical health. It's great for all of the things that help keep us energetic and young and healthy. So I'm really trying to do this. So I think my first steps with creating my morning routine is trying to figure out what it is that I just naturally do or that I naturally need to do in the mornings. Like obviously my skincare routine, which is already in place. Like I always do my skincare routine. That's something I don't miss. But waking up in the morning and praying, meditating, maybe reading a devotional or, a few chapters of a book, exercise. What do I eat in the mornings or do I eat in the mornings? I'm a big intermittent faster, so I don't really eat early in the morning. So that would probably be like actually the culmination of my morning when I do finally eat, which a lot of the times is not until about 11 or sometimes even 12. I'm not a morning eater. So that part's easy. But when do I move? What do I read? Do I wait until the afternoon to answer emails? What about when I have a video that needs to go up? Like these are all things that I need to consider for my morning routine. So this video is probably not going to give us the definitive answers of what my actual morning routine is, but we're discovering what my morning should look like together. And what's crazy is on this particular morning, I have an event very early. It starts at 10 o'clock. So I'm not even remotely doing anything morning routine like. I'm putting on a full face of makeup at 8 o'clock in the morning. So this is something we have to think about as well. There are times when you're going to have to modify the morning routine. And can we do that and still accomplish all of the things that we need to accomplish? I think we can. I think this look is also almost done. I'm actually filling in my eyebrows today just a little bit, and I just use mascara. I don't make a big deal about my eyebrows. But again, today is a soft glam look. I'm going for made up and, sophisticated and all of the things that go along with, like I said, stepping back into my old life and being a classy lady. So I think it was successful. So for my outfit, I initially opted for this Ted Baker dress. I have been wanting to wear this dress since long before my procedure. And I just think it is so cute. It's kind of 70s inspired, I guess. Just the way that it's tailored and everything. I love it. But you can't see it here. It actually gaps in the back because now that I've had my procedure, it's a little bit too big. It also fits really weirdly in the boob area too. So this was not the move. And honestly, I'm a little sad because I actually really like the dress, but I couldn't get that little back flap to sit right, and it was really bothering me. So I opted for a different dress instead. And I think it was a much better choice. This pink dress from Ted Baker as well. It was a hit. The ceremony was held at the Military Women's Memorial, which was the absolute most fitting place to have this ceremony. My dear friend took her oath and her whole family was there. It was just so lovely. And her good friend, Senator Tammy Duckworth, was the one to open the ceremony and help pin her as well. So it was actually pretty exciting to get to be in the same room with her as well. That was really cool. It was just an all-around wonderful event. She was pinned by the senator, her parents, and her son. And she took her oath, and she is now the newest colonel in the United States Army, and I'm so very proud of her. After the ceremony, we headed to lunch and to pick up her gift. I spotted a mini Speedy that really should have come home with me. And then we went home to change, and then on the way to the after party, this happened. We ended up in a Starbucks to get out of the rain, and because we were a little bit early and the power went out in the Starbucks. Never sat in a dark Starbucks before. We did end up finally going to the after party where all of her friends and family were, and we talked and a couple of people danced, and we had a really, really good time. And then it was time to go home. So we drove through the little town where the little pub was, where we went for the after party. And honestly, you guys, I think I was made for little town life. I really do. Like, I need to find a little town by the water, like in Connecticut or Vermont or Rhode Island somewhere. And that's where I think that I want to spend the next 50 years of my life. So cute. So I'm attempting to start this morning routine thing. Good morning, by the way. Yes, I am attempting to create this morning routine, this soft girl morning routine. So I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, I'd meditate, I'll talk to the Lord I'll talk to the Lord this morning. And it went good. It started off really good. I was giving him gratitude and, just thinking about all the things that, I could probably ask forgiveness for, and just trying to start my day and get my day right. And then I went back to sleep, which I guess is good because as a soft girl, you want to wake up naturally. Then when I did wake up again, I had that Cardi B song stuck in my head. Specifically that part where she's like, I want you to touch that little dangly thing right in the back of my throat. I wasn't singing it like it was sexual. It was just funny. And I thought about it and I kept thinking about it. And I was like, if I were a rapper, what would I say in place of that? And I think because I know that little dangly thing is the uvula, I probably would be like, I want you to touch my uvula. But what rhymes with uvula? I want you to touch my uvula with a little bit of arugula. I'm such a nerd. This is why I'm not a rapper. So I got this Bible. I think it was for Christmas. It's the Women of Faith Devotional Bible. And I think what I'm going to try to do is each morning maybe read like the daily devotional. I have devotionals in here. I think maybe doing it that way will make it stick more. I don't know. But today's devotional is on grace, and it's coming from Genesis 6, 1 through 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So that's what we're focusing on. I'm going to go ahead and read this to myself and see if I like it. I don't even know how I feel about the devotionals in this book yet. But I'll read it and I'll give you guys a brief summary of what it says. I told a fib. That was actually day 3, but guess who doesn't have on her glasses? This is day 1. Refined in the fire. There's also some stats in this book on breast cancer. It's a in this Bible, rather, on breast cancer. This is a beautiful Bible, and it's geared towards women. I didn't know this. Every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. 1 woman in 8 who lives to age 85 will develop breast cancer during her lifetime. Breast cancer is the leading cause of death in women between the ages of 40 and 55. When breast cancer is found early, the 5-year survival rate is 90%. It's interesting stats. I really like that they incorporated that in this Bible. Okay, so today's actual devotional, refined in the fire, from Job 23:10. But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. I'm going to actually read this one and then I'll share on the back end. One of the easiest constants for this morning routine is my skincare. I'm gonna do it. It has been a constant in my life since I was a teenager because I had severe acne, and then I turned around and had acne again in my 30s, and it didn't really clear up until my 40s. So I will do my skincare routine. I will do it morning and night. It is just not an option not to. So you always see me start off my skincare routine with my Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Hyaluronic Toner. It is very, very hydrating, and I will always have some sort of hydrating toner in my skincare steps or my skincare routine because the 10-step Korean glass skin skincare routine is what got my skin like this years ago. And hydration is definitely key. Today I'm treating with the Neod's Copper Amino Isolates, the blue liquid, which is just gorgeous because copper aminos are actually really good for your skin. They're very plumping, and when I use this on a regular, it even makes my double chin disappear temporarily. I love it. I use it a couple of times a week, and I like to use it after the toner because it can be a little drying, as well as when you do it before, it can also be a little sticky. So I put it on after the toner, and a bit here. I know I'm not supposed to touch the dropper to my face, but I did. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the Neod's Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate, which I love, mainly because it's light enough to use around the whole entire eye. And it just takes that dry feeling away. So I love to use this. At night, I use a thicker eye cream. I don't think I've ever done my nighttime routine on here. I guess I should do that too. And today, I'm just gonna finish off with my Innisfree sunscreen, mainly just because I don't wanna look purple. But today we're going for today we're going for a visually moisturized look. Being moisturized in public, as Charles Gross would say. So I did the 2 fingers lengths of this, and it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. So let me rub this in. I'll be back. I always say the sun is a big ball of fire, and if you don't think that it will burn your skin, you're sadly mistaken. A lot of people believe that because we have melanin in our skin, that it protects us from the sun. And yes, it does offer some protection. However, not enough to stop us from getting skin cancer or sunburned. I know, I get sunburned frequently. We also still have a huge hole in our ozone layer, so we have lost that added protection as well. I feel this way. You would not tell someone who's in a burning house to just sit there because they have melanin in their skin. Oh, you won't get burned. You would not tell them that. You would tell them to get out of the house. The same thing goes for the sun. Do not put your brown skin out in the sun without some sort of sun protection or UV ray protection. So this is definitely part of my morning routine. This is probably the only part of my morning routine that actually existed before I started attempting to create a new morning routine for myself. So I did have one. It just only consisted of my skincare. Everything else was willy-nilly and happened however it happened, but my skincare has always been a constant. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on a little bit of makeup because I am leaving the house, but I'm just, like I said, going for a visually moisturized look. So nothing crazy. A little concealer, a little color corrector, and a little powder, more than likely. What is this? And maybe some mascara, and that's it. It would be really difficult for me to make a whole channel on skincare because I use a lot of the same products over and over again. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Dennis & Myricks Yummy Skin. I'm just gonna put it over my sunscreen. This is a product that I actually like to use in the evening when I'm not wearing sunscreen and I'm doing my makeup, but it does offer a bit of a blur and a bit of a glow. So I'll go ahead and just put that on. I love it. And so I did say before I started filming this portion of my video that I would reiterate or summarize what I read in my devotional. So that devotional was Refined by the Fire. And basically, it was a story about a lady who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the doctors were really very stoic. They didn't offer very much comfort to her, but she still felt comforted because she had God, and she believes that God is her comforter. And I can totally relate to that. The tip, they give you a tip for the day. The tip said, when you find yourself facing frightening moments, remind yourself that God stands with you and you are never alone. I think that's very fitting indeed. I do believe that this devotional will be a lovely addition to my soft girl morning routine. I still haven't figured it all out yet, but it's definitely a great start. So here's the final look, glowy and visibly moisturized. That'll do it. It's Sunday morning. Whew, and as you can see, I'm attempting to do the moving portion of my morning routine. I've been doing this now for about 5 days straight. And I've adopted kind of the Atomic Habits approach. I think it's Atomic Habits. I read a lot of books, you guys. But, okay, I've caught my breath. Whew, that was a lot. Anyway, I do believe it's the book Atomic Habits. I read it years ago. I read most of it, and you see it all over the internet. You literally can do a search of Atomic Habits here on YouTube if you've never heard of it, and there will be no shortage of videos that pop up to tell you about it. It's a great book, but I do believe it's the one that says that, like, if you do one push-up, you've met your goal for the day. It's like, make little small habits. And I'm hoping this is the right book because, like I said, I read a lot of books. If it's not, I'm sure someone will correct me. Either way, Atomic Habits is a good book to read, but I do believe I found it there. That's why I need to keep a commonplace book, because then I could have all of the things that I learned from books in one place. It just was like a light bulb is floating over my head right now, because I get it now why people keep commonplace books. I'm on it. I think what I will do is combine a commonplace book with a bullet journal, and I think that will serve me very well. If I do that, I'll show you here on this channel. But I do need to corral all of these thoughts and all of these concepts that I learned. So anyway, the idea is that in order to build a habit, you have to obviously do something repetitively. You have to keep doing it. And a morning routine is definitely about habits. So one of the concepts is, like, say you want to build a habit from working out, or a habit of working out. Wow. Oh, okay, words. Say you want to build a habit of working out, and you say, I'm going to work out 30 minutes a day or an hour a day or whatever. That could be a little ambitious, because a lot of the times you might start working out and then, things come up, you don't get to do it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So the idea is, in order to build a habit, you start very small. So instead of starting with the goal of, I'm going to work out every day for 30 days, maybe instead you say, I'm going to do one push-up. And if all you do is one push-up, because one push-up is easy, right? If all you do is one push-up that day, you've met your goal. You've also started yourself on the way to building the habit. The thing is, most people will not just do one push-up. You might end up doing 10 push-ups. You might end up working out for 15 minutes. You might end up working out for a full 30. Most people will not just stop at one push-up. And after doing this over and over and over again, you are building the habit, but you're building it incrementally. You can even apply this to going to the gym if that's your thing. You may decide to just go to the gym, maybe just go to the gym and walk inside. And I know it's like, why would I drive all the way to the gym to just go in and walk inside? But maybe that's the best you can do that day, just getting to the gym. But eventually, because most people will not just go to the gym and just walk inside. The way that our minds work, well, I'm here now, I might as well exercise. I might as well get on the treadmill or whatever. So that is the way that I'm building my movement practice, because it is not natural for me to get out of bed and walk, or get out of bed and do, calisthenics or yoga or whatever. It's just not natural for me to do those things. And my primary form of exercise would be dancing. If I were doing some sort of regimented exercise, that would be it. And that usually occurs in the evening hours or when I'm out and about and partying. And I don't do that a lot. In fact, I don't do that very often at all. So I am literally having to build a habit of exercise. What you saw today was the culmination of a few days of baby steps. Like literally that first move that I did, where I was like, I did the little mini push-up and then I went back into child's pose and I did that like 10 times. That first move, the first day I did that in my bed. So it may be the lazy way of doing it, but eventually I think I will build the habit, because if I can do 5 of those in my bed and that meets my goal for the day, I don't feel bad about myself. I feel like I accomplished something, and I know that the next day I'll probably do more. So that's it for this video. I'm going to talk more about building my soft girl morning routine. Right now it's really scattered and all over the place, and that's just the way it is. But at some point I will become more regimented. At some point I will have really solid practices in place. And if you're building a morning routine or have built one, let me know how you did it in the comments, or let me know if you're on this journey with me. I do plan on talking a little bit more about this, because this is just the start. It's the whole idea is to live a more intentional life, a softer life, a life that is not necessarily struggle-free, but is not filled with struggle. Like sometimes we struggle, and we can prepare for that as well. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.